kind of like my life. Scrat from the Ice Age movies is probably one of my favorite characters. And his pursuit of the acorn, there's always, in every single movie, he's got this pursuit, and this acorn is always so elusive, and he tries so hard to get what he wants, and it just never seems to work. So I thought Scrat was just a great example of how most of us try to manifest abundance in our lives. We just want, and the things we want seem to be just right there. But we just can't get a hold of them. And then we get a hold of them, and we squeeze them, and we hold them tight, squeezing the last breath out of it, and it burst out of our hands, just like with Scrat somewhere. It's all over, it's under the water, it's on a mountain, it's somewhere other than where we want it to be. And so I thought, after we talked about being in the flow last week, and talking about divinity, that just segued perfectly into I am abundance, and I am giving. Because we really do live in an abundant universe. Everything that we've ever needed or wanted is right here. The Creator endowed us with everything that we need. Everything that you need to do, everything that you're called to do is right here within. We talk about that all the time. But we fail to see it because we think if there's something else that we either desire or that we think may be missing from our lives, somehow we forget that the ability or the capacity to manifest it is here. We think that it's out there. We think we have to chase the acorn. We think that it's supposed to be hard work. Because that's what we're taught. That you get a job, you earn money, and you work, so you can have the things that you want. And so that's what we do. And usually when we take things in our own hands, we overdo it. It's pursuit on steroids. And we almost work ourselves to a frazzle. Lord knows I have over the decades. And really what I wanted was still elusive. I was still running around like Scrat, trying to dig through the ice. And then when I got through the ice, found it hard to come back up because what I want is, it's right there. It's right there. And what our divinity allows us to do is to just let it unfold, to call it forth into our lives, to remember that it is here, to remember, like last week, that we are in the abundant flow, that everything is here, because it all comes from divine mind. And if what you want doesn't seem to be immediately in your life, that the ideas, the unlimited possibilities that live in divine mind, bring it forth to us. And all we have to do is ask. All we have to do is ask. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door is opened. And instead of asking and instead of knocking, we run up and down that hallway looking at all the doors, screaming, "Where's my stuff? Where's the love that I want? Where's the financial freedom that I want? Where's the opportunity that I want? Where's the peace that I desire?" And we're screaming up and down the hall. Bring it now. It's all in the flow. So I'm going back again to Eric Butterworth's In the Flow of Life. One of the great fundamentals of, quote, the flow of life, unquote, is the reality of affluence. The word affluence is normally used in the context of things, houses, cars, money, materiality in general. This is actually a corruption of the true meaning of the word. It means flow forth, or the free flow. The same corruption is found in the use of the word currency. We use the term in reference to money, in bundles or in accounts, but currency implies a flow. Certainly money has no power except in its use. You are not created outside the universe. You are an integral part of it, a dynamic center within it. The allness of universal substance is forever moving into and through the eachness, quite a word, that you are. This creative flow has produced you, and you belong to it and in it in a more vital sense than it belongs to you. Let me read that again. This creative flow has produced you, and you belong to it and in it in a more vital sense than it belongs to you. It is not just that you inherit it. You are its expression. The free flow of substance within you is the continuation of the divine effort that made you in the first place. That made you in the first place. You may be inclined to judge the conditions of your life on the basis of the stock market performance, the rate of inflation, or the possibilities of employment. This tendency and all the facts that are accumulated through it must be unlearned. You must learn to judge righteous judgment, to get the transcendent perception of life in a dynamic universe. As one man wisely said, "Many times I have been broke, but I have never been poor." The economy may fluctuate in recessions and depressions, but you can never be cut off from the all-sufficient substance of spirit. Prosperity is thus the law of the universe, and not just a condition of the fortunate. It's not just for some who seem to be lucky, born with a silver spoon in their mouths, just seem to have what it takes, and maybe we don't. Abundance is a part of that flow. So you can't be outside of it, even if you tried. All you can do is close the eyes or forget. It's the flow of life. And when we open to it, and when we say yes to it, and claim it, and affirm its free flow in and out, then it works. It just works. It becomes who you are. And so, as you are more abundant, you are able to give more. Because there is a recognition that it's limitless. And that as you give, more comes in. And it's tenfold, as Fred reminded us last week. And I've experienced it's much more than tenfold the more you open your mind to possibility. Once you recognize that you're not separated from the flow, you allow it to enrich your life and prosper you fully. And it becomes so much more than money. Yay! Yay! Perfect. Leland got We celebrated. So if we wake up every morning and say, yay!
And we shall be led by children.
And we shall be led by children. They can program our phones and help us celebrate our abundance. Yes, it's as simple as saying yay. I really didn't train him to do that. Gosh, that was perfect.
There are no coincidences.
There are no coincidences.
That's right. Perfect.
What if we did every single time we opened our eyes, or there was a new opportunity, that it was a simple yay? Look at that. Look at what's flowing into my life. And every time you have to pay a bill, every time you write a check, every time you see an auto debit on your account, you say yay again. Look at what I'm able to do. Look at the things I'm able to take care of in my life. Look at the freedom it gives me. And celebrate it all, the receiving and the giving. They're all the same thing. The flow is there, but we block it. Or we just don't see it. Or we don't affirm it. Or we get in the way of it because we're doing it our way. When I started to open myself to the free flow of life, I got to stop putting those two words together. Free flow. Yeah, the flea flows. Fleas all over. And they're always abundant. If you have a dog and you have fleas, you know they're abundant. But once I opened myself to that flow, then things came into my life I probably could not have made happen myself. In ways that I could not have devised. Because things have come into my life where my circumstances stayed the same, but there was greater abundance coming in. There was more freedom all of a sudden. And you think this makes no rational sense. But it doesn't make rational sense. The intellect can't conceive of it. But spirit always can. In an infinitely abundant universe, everything is possible. I still remember this one day, after I had some of my mother's furniture in my house. My mother was good for stashing money. So she had those bank envelopes where you put cash in, and they were all over her apartment. And so after I was going through her things after she passed away, every once in a while I would just find another envelope, and it would have $200, $500, $600, just everywhere. And she had bank accounts. It's not like she didn't want to go to the bank. But she still would hide cash. And so there was this one weekend, there was something going on, and this was several years ago, and I had my mother's dresser in one of my rooms for I don't know how long. I know I went through that dresser, every single drawer, when we emptied it out and before the movers brought it to our house from our apartment. And something was going on where we needed an infusion of cash. And I remember walking around saying, thank you for the infusion. Something's going to come into our lives. And I just left it alone. And in my heart, I had my, yay, it's happening. Because you claim it and then you say thank you. You're grateful for it before it ever manifests. You act as if it's here now. And so I just relaxed about it. And then 2 days later, I went back to that dresser for some reason. I don't know what it was. And I pulled open the bottom drawer, and inside was one of those cash envelopes with $800 in it. And I sat there, and all of a sudden, tears just welled up in my eyes, because I know I went through that dresser from top to bottom. And I knew about her stashing cash, so I always had to like reach under things, make sure I taped to stuff. Maybe she robbed banks, I don't know. But I found cash in the most unreasonable places. And so I know I went through that, and so I could not conceive of how that money got there. $800. And when things like that happen, then you know there's this something going on that I don't have to make happen. All we have to do is say, I'm in the flow, and miracles are possible. And yes, thank you for bringing that miracle into my life right here, right now. It's uncanny. So yes, we're back here, in the flow.
I do.
In the flow. Stay here. Stay here. It's like I was talking about, being in the pool and making that wake, and things would just flow in and flow out. Easily, without me knowing it, without me recognizing it. But you got to stay in there and affirm that you're in it. Be grateful for it every single day. Everything I need is right here. In fact, now I affirm I have no needs, because everything is supplied before I even ask. Because in an infinitely bountiful universe, we have no needs. There's nothing you need. It's all right here. It's all right here. There's no reason to go out there looking for it. Charles Fillmore even likens lack and limitation as sin. And sin in unity is missing the mark, forgetting that you are divine. Because if you're ever in lack and limitation, then you have certainly forgotten who and what you are. That you are a divine being with dominion over all things. Not some things, not half things, not 10%. Dominion over all things. It's mind-blowing. And so when you catch yourself walking around saying, I don't, I can't, it won't, not for me, they're lucky, I'm not, never happened before, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it. Stop yourself. Stop dead in your tracks. If you need to say, erase, erase, abort, abort, whatever. There are times when I stop mid-sentence. I say that when I start to say, I am tired.
Cancel, cancel.
Cancel, cancel, delete, delete. And instead of saying I am tired, I say I have a, here I go again, free flow of divine energy in and through me all day, every day. Because we do. That's part of our abundant life, is energy for all of it. Love and peace and joy, patience. How many times you walk around affirming you don't have patience? You have patience for it all. Save energy for it all. Those days when you think it's just too much and you're right here. Remember that you are divine. And there is no ceiling to what you can do, to what you can be. That is abundant life. When you start not to feel well, affirm abundant life. And that there's something within you, this divine mechanism that always seeks to give you vibrant life. And within every cell of your body is divinity working within you. We have so much at our fingertips, so much here in our hearts and our minds. And all we have to do is tell the body and the mind to respond, and it does. You have dominion over that. You are not a body, you have a body. Your soul has a body. And your soul has dominion over that body. And you can command your body to be what you want it to be. Talk to your DNA. Science is proving that it listens, that it hears, that it responds. I talk to mine on a regular basis because I've got some heredity that's kind of scary. And I choose not to be in fear about my heredity. So I'm creating my own. Create your own. Decide what you want and affirm it. Sit in the middle of your abundance, always. And claim it. And as our little sage said, yay. Yay. I have been given the kingdom. You are truly abundant in ways beyond your imagination. Let your imagination run free and start claiming what your heart desires. Claim it and then say, bring it in. Arms open wide. Arms open wide. Claim that what's coming into your life is more than your two arms can hold. Because that's what's possible. That's what's possible. So let's take this in a meditation. Let's breathe in. Exhale. And in your heart of hearts, say to yourself, I am abundance. Say in your heart of hearts, I am a giving, generous being. Say in your heart of hearts, I have dominion over all things. Say in your heart of hearts, I am one with the flow of this abundant universe. Say in your heart of hearts, I can never be separated from the abundant universe. It is me, and I am it. Take a deep breath in again. Breathing in life, love, prosperity. Exhale. And knowing as you exhale that breath that there is, yes, another breath. More life, more love, more peace, more joy, more opportunity, greater fulfillment, deeper connection. All the things that you seek are now seeking you. Waiting only for you to open your arms wide. Picture yourself now, arms open wide, hands unclenched. Just bathed in light. The light that you are. The light that is spirit. That is this energetic field with which we are one. Your arms are open wide. And in your heart of hearts, now say, yay. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes again. All that you've been seeking is hurtling quickly into your life. Pouring into your soul. Flowing freely into your life. So that you may now pour blessings upon this earth and everyone with whom you come into contact. Just take one more deep breath in together and exhale.